Actually grew up in the Atlanta area. I'm the son of a Southern Baptist preacher and grew up in church, and actually in church is where I first experienced my own brokenness. I was abused by someone in the church at a young age, and that went on through beginning of high school, and that's where a lot of confusion sort of entered the picture for me through that process. Ended up dealing with drugs and alcohol addiction into college, actually overdosed in college, and that's sort of the point where God got my attention and sort of brought me back around. When I was going through the process of overdosing, I said, if you let me wake up from this, I'll tell my story to anybody at any time and any place. I just hoped he would never ask me to, but here I am. And then through college, I met some amazing Christian guys that were actually men that were Christ-like and loved me in spite of everything that was clearly going on in my life, and just loved me for where I was at. After college, I went to law school, and I was in an isolated city with no roommate, complete access to internet, and that's when the addiction really, for sexual addiction, really exploded. I contacted one of the only people I knew I could contact, which was the guy that I had a sexual relationship with in college. I had heard that he was getting help for some of his stuff, and I told him what all had been going on, and I told him everything. He's like, I can help you get into a 12-step program if you want to. So I started doing the 12-step program and eventually found a more Christian version of that support group that really started to allow me to have community around my struggles, and also to put a framework around the conversation. I didn't even know what a lot of it meant. I think I believed that I wasn't really a man because I was dealing with same-sex attraction and homosexuality, as opposed to realizing, like, no, I'm a man. That's just part of my struggle. That's the part of the thing I'm navigating in my journey. God put people in front of me, men that had earned the right to speak into my life by walking with me through a lot of issues without them fully knowing the story. So I eventually told them. So I had the moment where I realized I was fully known and fully loved at the exact same time. And that there was probably one of the most powerful things that God used in my life, to be fully known and fully loved at the same time. The idea of the string art sort of came from the concept of the theme for the year, which is being known, and understanding that God himself knit and wove us together at the innermost part of who we are. And like when I look at these designs, like what seems totally random, there's actually pattern in this with randomness mixed in. And I think a lot of time, that's a lot of what walking with Christ feels like. Like God really has brought me to a point where I'm realizing he is using my pain to bless me and bless others, and allowing me to be present to see it. And sitting down with someone who's gay, a gay man, and letting them know that, hey, God loves you right where you're at. You don't have to go through a program. You don't have to become straight, any of that before you come to Jesus. Jesus wants you right now. Christ's strength is made known through our weakness. So if we're unwilling to talk about our weakness, we're unwilling to reflect the strength of God in our lives. As Christians, as leaders, we have to be willing to step out in vulnerability in our weakness so that the strength of Christ can be known to all of those around us.